Hello guys and welcome to another Premiere Pro tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to add outlines, borders and strokes to shapes, videos and text, or basically anything in Adobe Premiere Pro CC. Over here in my timeline I've got an image over here and I've got a video here that I would like to add a border to. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add an outline to this image over here. So what I'm going to do is to select this image and move over to my first control panel over here and select my free draw bezier. Next thing I'm going to do is to come over to this project monitor and I'm going to fit this to around 200%. And what I'm going to do is to begin to mask out this background from this image. So I'm going to fast forward this now so it doesn't get boring. Alright guys, so now that my mask is complete, the next thing I'm going to do is to select this image, right click and hit on Nest. So I'm going to move over to the video effects over here and search for the paint bucket effect. Now I'm going to drag this paint bucket onto my nested clip here and scroll down under my first control panel. I'm going to set the fill selector to alpha channel. I'm going to set the stroke to stroke and then I'm going to change the color of the stroke now to white, and now I can change the stroke width. I can increase it and I can reduce it to any length I want. I'm just going to leave this at 5. So basically I'm going to take this to my video track layer 2. What I'm going to do now is to create a new color mate. So I'm going to come over to this new item over here, select it and select color mate, hit OK, and I'm going to select the color somewhere around this is fine and hit OK and drag this onto my video track layer 1. And obviously here guys, you can see that we have successfully created an outline around this image over here. So now if I select this image and increase the size, you will notice that the size increases with the outline. I can move it, change the position, change the size, rotate it, and it's going to move with the outline. Another thing I like to do is to add a radial shadow to it so it doesn't just look like a sticker. So I'll select the radial shadow and drag it onto my clip over here, and you will notice the shadow that is already beginning to spill out over here. So I'm just going to go back to my first control panel over here and change my softness from 0 to 50 and change the projection distance from 10 to 3. And now with the light source, I can just move it to any position I want it to be so that it can be more soft. But this is optional. You might not want to add a radial shadow to yours. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to add an outline or a border to a video. So over here, I have a video that I would like to add a border to or an outline. So I'll select this video first of all and resize it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to once again select it, right click and hit on Nest to nest it. Now I'm going to go back to my first control panel and search for the paint bucket effect. Now I'm going to drop this paint bucket effect directly on my nested clip and scroll down under my first control panel and change the fill selector to alpha channel, change my stroke to stroke and change the color type once again to white. You can use any color you prefer. And then I'm going to change the stroke width to 5. And that's it guys. So I can move this now to my video track layer 2 and increase the length of my color mate to cover this. So if I play this video now, you will notice that the video is playing around the color mate. Even if I select this video and decide to change the position, it goes with the border. So lastly guys, once again I would like to select a radial shadow and apply it to this video. So go to your first control panel and search for the radial shadow and drop it onto your nested clip. And once again, to take out this fill, you go back to your first control panel and change your softness to 50% and change your projection distance to 3%. You can now move your light source to correctly balance the shadow with your video over here. So now if I move this video, you can see what we have created over here. And now the next thing I would like to show you is how to add an outline and a stroke to text in Premiere Pro. Now what I'm going to do is to come over to my project monitor. After selecting my type tool here, I'm going to come over to my project monitor and double click it to type a text. Now I'm going to type Premiere Pro. And I'm going to move from my effects panel here to my graphics panel so I can properly align it. So now inside my essential graphics panel, selecting my text, I'm greeted with all these options to edit my text. So what you will see here under appearance is fill, stroke and all of this. You can actually change the font type if you like. So to add an outline to your text, what you are going to do is to highlight the entire text over here And under appearance, you are greeted with fill, stroke, and all these options. So what you will do is to select stroke, and I would like to change the color of my stroke to white and hit OK. So if I deselect it now, you will see what we have is just looking excess, and this is because the fill is white and the stroke is white. So I'm going to select my text over here once more, selecting my text and selecting it also in the essential graphics panel here. Scroll down and deselect my fill. So my stroke here is showing 19. I'm going to reduce my stroke now to somewhere around 6. So if I deselect it now, you can see the text that we have created. Let me increase the size so you can see it. You will notice that this text, the stroke is selected, but there is no fill, and that is why we can see just the outline without any fill. We can see the background through this text. But if you want to add a stroke with a fill, you select your fill, and now what you want to do is to change the color of your stroke. So for example, I can make my stroke to be blue and hit OK. And what you will notice is a white text with a blue stroke around it, and you can increase the size of this stroke. And that's it, guys, on how to add outline, strokes, and borders to text, videos, and shapes in Premiere Pro. I hope you found this tutorial very useful. If you did, kindly give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.